Davison Humphries, and I'm so glad you're here this Monday morning. This Week in Civics is a weekly live show throughout the school year where we look at everything happening in civics, history, and at the Bill of Rights Institute. Citizenship is hard work. BRI is here to help, and we would love to hear your questions. Reach out to us on Twitter, Facebook, YouTube, and we'll get back to you. I was a classroom educator, and so getting audience participation is so important. This week's episode is on coming back. It is the middle of August. Many educators are already back in the classroom, and many of you are preparing to come back. So we're looking at preparing for civics and history today. There are a couple of things we know about this school year. First, we know it's not going to be an easy year, but we know it could still be a joyful one. You know, teachers are being asked to navigate a number of challenges, both the pandemic, continuing from our communities in a variety of ways. Over the summer, there was a lot of discussion among legislators and the news media about how and when to teach about racial history, how to encourage civic participation. They're both national conversations right now, and that has a real effect on teachers in the classroom. And so BRI is putting together resources and thinking about how we can help you through that. There are also lots of new standards rolling out, new tests, new mandates. And so the Bill of Rights Institute, as those come up, we already, with the Educating for American Democracy framework that came out last year, we've already put up 2 different playlists, and we'll continue to think about and be a part of those conversations and give resources for you in those. And then we also know that there are difficult conflicts, both internally and externally, that are going to continue to impact civics and history teaching and civics and history in the classroom. We have a great, speaking of which, things that were transpiring just over the weekend, in our Life, Liberty, and Pursuit of the Happiness resource, which is a brand new textbook that we published last year that looks at all US history and civics standards and has literally hundreds of different components that you can use in your classroom, all free and all digitally enabled. If you go to our Life, Liberty, and Pursuit of Happiness resource, you can find an essay on US military intervention in Afghanistan. So as you're helping your students process the history there, that is a great essay written about the aftermath of 9/11 and the US military intervention in Afghanistan. But even from that brief overview, it's a lot. It's going to be another very busy year in the history and civics classroom. It seems like it's been a while since we didn't have a busy year in the civics and history classroom, but there's an energy to history and civics that comes from that, and we can bask in that glow even as we work hard to make sure that our resources are up to date and engaging for our students. Well, lucky for you, the Bill of Rights Institute is here to help. We have incredible opportunities for teachers to engage with us. We always build our resources after being pilot tested with teachers. We really encourage our teacher population to give us feedback so that we are always improving our resources. But throughout the school year, we will be here alongside you as you teach your civics and history content. So almost every week, I'll be here on Mondays to talk through current opportunities. Our YouTube channel has weekly shows that we update. We update at least 2 new shows every week on our YouTube channel. That includes Close Reads, which is a fantastic series. If you haven't seen it yet, it walks students through specific particular content pieces. So primary source documents, our head of content, Kirk Higgins, does a great job of really breaking down those primary sources. We have Bridge to the Past, which is a fabulous student-facing series where Mary looks at particular pieces of art or visual content and then walks through that with students. And then our Scholar Talk series, which is great. Our scholar in residence, Tony Williams, has a guest scholar on, and they talk about a current event or a book that the scholar is bringing out. Again, all kind of facing towards the student engagement, public engagement with history and civic content. And lastly is my series, Civic Conversations, where I speak with teachers and usually public figures who used to be educators. This past summer, we had a series on race, religion, and politics. I encourage you to check that out, how to teach that in the classroom. We're always doing e-lessons and current events lessons. We're having new curricular resources come out. This year, we have a history of Black Americans through primary sources that will be published towards the end of the calendar year. We have Being an American, which is our landmark civics curriculum. It has a brand new update that includes English language learner and English as a second language strategies. And of course, there's our new website, which launched last year. I encourage you to sign up for an account there, because that'll give you the opportunity to create playlists and find your own resources and save them and share them. Everything the Bill of Rights Institute does is built on our constitutional principles. That's the foundation of everything we do. We have a great handout if you want to talk about constitutional principles with your students. They are all, they're everything, they're the root of everything we do. So as we're coming back, we have a brand new newsletter that just came out that focuses on the virtue of respect. It's a unit in our American Portrait series. If you're not familiar with American Portraits, those are some really great, just been short vignette resources about different figures in American history. And I recently did a presentation where I shared a quote about respect and about viewpoint diversity. And I wanted to kind of leave you with your moment of Zen with this quote as we think about all of the different voices in our communities, all of the different conversations that are going to be happening in your community, in your classroom, in your different classes, and however many preps you have. I thought that this quote really summed up the way that a lot of us are going to be thinking about our classroom dynamics, the conversations happening in our community. It comes from John Stuart Mill, his book On Liberty. If you haven't ever read chapter 2 has another title called On the Liberty of Thought and Discussion. And there are these two sentences which I just think really create a guiding light for difficult conversations. And he says, the peculiar evil of silencing the expression of opinion is that it is robbing the human race, posterity as well as existing generations, those who dissent from the opinion still more than those who hold it. If the opinion was right, they are deprived of the opportunity of exchanging error for truth. If wrong, they lose what is almost as great a benefit, the clear perception and livelier impression of truth produced by its collision with error. So as you go through your week and your school year, and you think about all the collisions of ideas that happen throughout history and in your own communities, we hope that you'll turn to the Bill of Rights Institute to help you navigate those. I'm here, like I said, almost every week throughout the school year. So comment, let me know what you'd like to talk about. We have tons of resources across our website and our YouTube channel, and we look forward to hearing from you. So reach out on Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, LinkedIn, all of the ways. And I look forward to hearing from you next week. Again, my name is Rachel Davison Humphries. I'm Director of Outreach. This is This Week in Civics, and I look forward to hearing from you. Thank you.